Now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
I'd like to welcome everyone. This is Tom Huddy. For those of you who do not know me, I'm the sales manager for Don Stevens. I am filling in the big shoes of Stephanie Cleaver today. So Stephanie is unable to attend the webinar. And so my job here is basically to introduce our ongoing series of webinars with CI Web Group and introduce Jennifer Bagley. So Jennifer is one of the most in-demand keynote digital marketing and business strategy speakers in the world. She has been working with HVAC manufacturers, distributors, and dealers to achieve accelerated business growth for over 6 years. Jennifer is also the CEO and founder of CI Web Group, a web design, search engine optimization, CRM integration, mobile app development, and social media marketing agency. Jennifer has consistently delivered results for HVAC companies wishing to leverage their marketing dollars to produce results and improve operations. With a strong knowledge of the HVAC industry, she is here to help our dealers and distributors grow their business and increase sales. So without any further ado, I introduce to you Jennifer Bagley.
Tom, thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. And all of you that have taken time out of your busy schedules to attend this webinar. Don Stevens has really put a lot of energy in working with us, and they're so focused on bringing you guys incredible training on a regular basis to really try and help you increase your performance. So first, hats off to Don Stevens and the entire team there. Thank you so much for having us. And to all the dealers, I know you guys are busy, so let's get down to business. Okay, first things first, you guys got an invitation. It said that you are attending a Google Apps, how to leverage Google Apps to maximize efficiencies in your business or something close to that. You guys are going to get a 2-for-1 here. So first things first, based on the time of year and the incredible necessity for you guys to switch gears and get really, really focused and honed in on heating related phrases and generating new business related to furnaces and heater installation and maintenance and repair and so forth. We've switched gears. So you guys are going to get both. You're going to have the Google Apps training, which we've already recorded previously, and that's going to be on your landing page. If you go to ciwebgroup.com/Don Stevens, you'll have access to that training as well as the plethora of archive trainings that we've done. And then in addition to that, we are going to have a power-packed session today on search engine optimization. The section of search engine optimization, as far as these webinar series, we've got 4 or 5, I think, possibly 6 different kind of components that we'll be addressing over the next few webinars. So we're going to start off and kick it off basically with keyword selection and strategies to grow your business. And I want to introduce search engine optimization. I want to get you guys familiar with it, comfortable with it. I have to give a disclaimer right out of the gate. It's just complicated. Like, I don't have any other, there's no other way to say it. Unfortunately, this is probably going to give you a headache. I'm going to keep it as down to earth as possible. But remember, the goal is not that you learn everything about SEO. The goal, or digital marketing or web design or development or anything else, the goal is that you have enough information that you can ask good questions. You know what reports you should be looking at. You know how key performance indicators for progress should be set. And you have a better job, or you do a better job of selecting vendors who you should be working with. So I'm going to apologize in advance if your head at the end of this session goes thump, thump, but it's absolutely worth it. No matter what business we're in, you guys, we're not in the business of HVAC. I'm not in the business of digital marketing. All of us, whether you're an attorney or a CPA or you own an HVAC company or a plumbing company or an electrical company, the bottom line is we're in the business of marketing and customer service. And oh yes, we also deliver a product or a service. So we have to be very careful that that is a focal point. So That being said, you get both. You get the Google Apps presentation, which is on your landing page, www.ciwebgroup.com/Don Stephens. I'll show you at the very end. And you're also going to have this one as well. If you've missed any of the prior webinar series, you can always check those out on the same landing page. We keep track of the archives for you, so you're never behind. And you can attend and get the information on your time at your pace. Some of you are pretty aggressive. All right. So let's get started. Inbound marketing. This slide actually probably gives you a headache. I get it. I'm with you. We have over 45 full-time people and 9 different departments, from web design, development, SEO, social media, technology, video production, video marketing. We have all of these different departments, and every one of them believes that their area and their piece of this puzzle is most important. I love hearing them duke it out. I'm an entrepreneur. I build businesses, buy, sell businesses, help other people build their businesses, and also have a team of genius marketers. So it's interesting to me when I listen to them, fight over what's more important. It's kind of like putting your CPA and your financial planner and your attorney in a room, and you let them fight it out, and then you pull out the best information, help them prioritize, and so forth. It's the same thing with this. There is not a guy or a girl or a nephew who just got out of school, or a son who's in school that can do all of this. They're just not born in the same body. When you look at inbound marketing is essentially, I want to say it's today's marketing, but actually this is behind. Right now, we're studying growth hacking strategies. Inbound marketing was 2 years ago, and most HVAC companies are functioning on outbound marketing, which is also referred to as advertising, which is what their parents and their parents and their parents and their parents have always done. So the process of marketing is changing drastically, you guys. This is being able to create a business where you become a magnet through all of these different inbound marketing techniques. So search engine optimization, pay-per-click, display advertising, blogging, social media, webinars, teleseminars, retargeting, podcast, branding, infographics, video, content marketing, link building, press releases. Holy geez, it's so much. Is all this important? Absolutely. So today, I'm going to really kind of just tone into 2 items for a second, and then I'm just going to go straight into one area, which is SEO. I want you guys to understand the difference between SEO and pay-per-click, which is also referred to as SEM. These are 2 very, very different forms of marketing. A lot of times when I'm talking to people and we're doing our free strategy sessions and consultations, they'll intermix these. Like whoever they're working with hasn't dissected or separated or made these 2 different applications or strategies entirely different. So I want to make sure we've got that. So when you guys go to Google, which you do constantly, right? No matter what you need. You want an airline, you want to go on vacation, you need to replace your roof, you need to replace your floor, you're looking for someone to mow your lawns, whatever the situation is. What do you do as a consumer? What does your wife do as a consumer? What does your daughter do as a consumer? And so forth. They go to Google. And when they type in Google and they pull up a phrase, there is a list of sites or pages that pop up. On the right-hand side, this would be considered search engine marketing or pay-per-click advertisements. On the very top, you may have 1, 2, or 3, or none, pay-per-click advertisements. These are also referred to as search engine marketing, PPC. In this environment, you are taking a chunk of money and you are setting it as a budget with Google, and you're saying, Google, for these 100 key phrases, anytime somebody clicks on my display ad, which this is an advertisement, hopefully this drives only to a landing page with a unique call to action and a unique tracking phone number and a unique web form so that you can measure the results of your pay-per-click investment. In this environment, every time somebody clicks, $4, $4, $4, $3, $2, $20, $4, 99 cents, 49 cents, $18, depending on the time of day, depending on the key phrase, depending on the competition, and so forth. Every time somebody clicks on that, it's going to take money out of your budget. That's pay-per-click. The awesome part about pay-per-click is it's instantaneous. The second your campaign is set up, your landing page is done, and your copy for your ads is all created and everything else, and you've got your budget set with Google, your ad campaign manager can set this up to where you can literally start generating leads within days or not a week. The drawback is about only 15% of all searches, and it continues to go down, but about 15% of all searches, meaning that 15% of every time a consumer searches for something, do they click in an advertisement. So if you think about how you search, how frequently do you click on the ads versus how frequently do you click in the organic area, which is everything below the advertisements. Now, 15%, this is a number that's thrown out by industry experts. I am a speaker. I stand on stage in front of hundreds and thousands of people on a regular basis, and I ask everyone in the audience, when you're doing a search, how many of you click on the ads in the very top or right-hand side? And typically I get 1 to 2 hands. Usually it is somebody in the very back of the room. I'll walk back with the microphone and ask them, awesome, what did you click on? And somebody will go, my competitor cost them $4, $4, $4. So that is the audience's response. However, for pay-per-click campaigns that we manage, literally most of the time, the pay-per-click campaign is what pays for and funds the SEO organic search investment. This one takes time. There's also the majority of all searches are happening in a page 1, position 1 through 5 listing. If you're on page 2, doesn't matter. On page 3, doesn't matter. On page 4, doesn't matter. Sometimes on page 1 in position 8 or 9 or 10, that also doesn't matter. There's 10 organic slots on each listing. So we've got to make sure that when you are going after an organic SEO campaign, this takes time, and I'll teach you how long and for what and so forth, but your pay-per-click campaign is geared to make you money to support the investment in your organic listing over time. All right, so again, on the pay-per-click side or search engine marketing, PPC is one time, one and done. You're trading dollars for leads. You also get immediate results. So the team would do something such as search for your phrases, do your key phrase analysis, your bid management. They'd be creating your landing page, your ad copy, your graphics or video. Now there's an entirely new, brand new, depending on when you're listening to this video, a type of pay-per-click marketing, which is mobile marketing. It's all based on click-to-calls and unique visual advertisements. It's very, very cool, but this entire pay-per-click model is changing as we speak. On the search engine optimization or organic marketing side, this is a long-term strategy, greater opportunity. You have recurring revenue and compounding interest results, meaning the dollar you spend today, you're not going to get back in 6 months, but in 24 months or 48 months, you're going to be making way more money on that $1 that you invested way up front 4 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or 1 year ago. It's actually going to provide you with compounding interest. So if you're familiar in the financial industry with compound interest versus simple interest, this is a compound interest investment on your business. This is a simple interest investment on your business. You invest simple interest in order to create dollars to fund your compound interest, which is your search engine optimization or organic marketing. Both are important. So pay-per-click, I'm going to end most everything. I may talk about pay-per-click a little bit, but for the most part, we're going to come back and we're going to look at pay-per-click on a different day. There's too much to go over to throw it all in one. I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page and had some clarity in between those two. Let's concentrate primarily on organic search, which is organic SEO. Right now, you guys, you got to be thinking about winter, for low competition phrases. You got to be thinking about summer for your high competition phrases. Right now, in the, let's see here, end of fall, beginning of winter, which is when this particular recording is taking place, depending on your watching, you should be concentrating on low competition phrases for heating or furnace or boiler or oil to gas related phrases, depending on what's in your territory, where you're at. But you should also be concentrating on getting ranked for high competition key phrases related to air conditioning, AC installation, AC repair, AC maintenance, AC replacement, AC changeouts, and so forth. The higher your rankings over the years, the greater your visibility, the more conversions, the higher your sales, the more money you're making. The great part about search engine optimization and pay-per-click is as long as you have the right coach in place and you guys are looking at growth hacking and how to generate new business, you're tracking what leads are coming in from your efforts, it's a no-brainer when it comes to investments. It's not like doing an ad campaign or where you're mailing out a flyer to, 7 zip codes and you have no clue whether it worked or not. You've got a phone number on there that's just like every other phone number. You ask them how they found you, they can't remember. This is simple to measure. You can have unique phone numbers, absolutely free. You can have unique landing pages, or you can have a specialized form that's specifically for organic versus pay-per-click or for any of your campaigns and measure it tooth and nail. Marketing is pretty simple. Identify what works, cut out what doesn't, and invest more money in what works and you'll make more money. And that's pretty much how this works. So the process of search engine optimization, if you've been on meetings with your SEO agencies or your internal marketing person or team, this is somewhat of what should have been done. So first is you need to do an initial analysis. Second is you need to identify key phrases. Third, you got to do a major competitor analysis. All of your websites must have a sitemap.html, a robots.index file. They have to have all of the required files on your website that are necessary. I will tell you, it hurts my soul when I get on strategy calls and I'll talk to somebody who's been paying for SEO for years on a website that was built in tables, uncrawlable by Google, doesn't have a robots.txt file, which is necessary for Google to even crawl your site. Or even worse, they're paying for SEO on a website that's not responsive. It is, you need a, you need a secondary opinion. There is not a website on the planet that doesn't need improved. There's not a website that I built yesterday or that my team built weeks ago or months ago. You don't even want to know what I think of the websites we built 2 years ago. And technically 2 years from now, I'm going to hate the websites that we built today. So there's always room for improvement. There's always going to be something you can do better. And you learn constantly. The more reports that we're able to analyze, the more HVAC dealers we're able to work with across the nation. The more consumer focus groups that we have, we're constantly learning. However, there's just some things that are no-brainers, absolutely not. There is no way you should be sitting in that position, especially investing in search engine optimization on a website that is not responsive, i.e. not properly coded for mobile, not mobile devices. Shoot, right now we got to be thinking about wearable watches. How's your website going to be optimized for wearable watches, visibly as well as for searches? We shouldn't be talking about responsive websites for phones anymore. They've been around a while. So we've got to change our process. So, okay, number 4, your site's got to be right. It has to. Search engine directory submissions, social bookmarking, blogs, press release, article submissions, link popularity, SERP reports, search engine rank placement. We've got to figure out where is your website placed. Competitor analysis. You guys, competitor in our world, digital marketing, is very different than competitors in your world. Meaning down the street, on the corner, 5 blocks away, the one with the big pink truck with the sign that you can't stand, whatever the situation is. Your competitor in a digital world is very different. So you may have a company that is considered a competitor because you see their trucks everywhere and it just, has you talking to the top of your van. However, the uh, the competitor who online is the first organic and possibly first organic and owns a pay-per-click spot for the majority of your key phrases, that's who you need to be worried about. Because as the way people search and find their vendors, their service provider changes, and it starts moving over to a digital marketing environment, these companies that may be Goliaths and have been in business for years and years and years and years and have 100 trucks and look like a tremendous amount of competition, they're banking on existing customers, and existing customers have relationships, but they don't last forever. So you got to be worried about the multi-generational companies that are coming in and taking over the world when it comes to search engine optimization. Okay, SEO. Part of your competitor analysis is going to include the number of pages per search. So when you go to Google and you type in a phrase, so you guys are all in different cities and towns and suburbs and so forth. If you were to type in AC repair and your location, furnace repair and your location, furnace changeout, furnace tune-up, furnace replacement, and so forth, with your location, Google's going to pop up and it's going to show you about blank results in X number of seconds. This number is your competition. In an SEO environment, you guys want to be number one of this number. Number one of this number. That should feel daunting. So in this case, because it's 3.5 million, that's hard. However, there are different competition rankings. You have low competition. This is when this number is between 0 and 499,000, then that's a low competition key phrase. There are only 349,000 pages inside that drawer. Yesterday, I talked with a gentleman. We did a strategy session, and he was in an area that literally every search that we did only had 17,000, 29,000, 39,000. For us, like, we were excited. Like, normally we're used to dealing with the millions, the hundreds of thousands, and this guy is not anywhere to be found looking at these search engine queries that have no competition. For us, getting you to page 1 of Google position 1 and maintaining you there, and even taking over page 1 position 1, 2, 3, and 4, absolutely, like, that's a walk in the park. Look, very difficult to get a page 1 position 1 for 28 million, 700 million, 3.5 million, and so forth. So depending on where you are, if you are in a rural area, what you'll notice is the competition, i.e. the number of pages for this particular search, is also going to be similar to the population. So in a low population area, you're going to have a low number of searches or key phrases, pages that are showing up for that particular key phrase. It's also going to produce less monthly searches. It's all relative, right? If you're in a low population area, you have less houses. You have less competition because there's not as many HVAC guys out there trying to get the business. It also means the fewer searches people are doing for replacement and installs and service and maintenance and tune-ups and so forth. However, you can still generate a tremendous amount of business by owning page 1, position 1 ranks for a lot of different key phrases in the low competition area. Now, if you're in a mid-competition area, you may be in kind of a mid-cities, more of an established city. Your population is a little bit higher. The difference between these two is the time it takes to get ranked. So a low competition search with a higher volume of key phrases can actually get found faster because they can get up to page 1 and be number 1 of 17,000 or number 1 of 150,000 much faster than becoming number 1 of 800,000. So it's all relative. Once you really kind of get just the basics of this, all of a sudden it's going to start making more sense. So I just took my area. I live right here, right on the point of the water right here. And I went in and just looked at the competition. I think I used AC Repair. But this is so for that particular AC Repair, Edmonds, Washington, I think that's what I used. There was 118,000 competitive pages. Mount Lake Terrace, 67,000. Shoreline, 681,000. Ballard, 336,000. North Seattle, 13 million. Cottage Lake, 930,000. Duval, 200. Echo Lake, 588,000. Maltby, Bainbridge Island, 271,000. So if let's say that your office was right here in the middle of North Seattle, do you compete right next to your office and do you try and become number one of 13 million? Or do you say, you know what, I'm going to go nail the page one, position one rank in Mount Lake Terrace because there's only 67,000 and that's a 15-minute drive. I got that. In fact, I'm going to go get Mount Lake Terrace first because I can get to page one, position one faster. Then I'm going to go over to Bothell, 176,000. Might as well get Woodinville. So I have 3 locations I can get to a page one, position one rank in less than 3 months for, and I can start making money. Great. My leads start coming in. I've been out there. I'm on page one of Google for 20 key phrases. Now what do? I've got business coming in. I'm making more money. So great. I'm going to move over. I'm going to go into Edmonds. Then I'm going to go to Shoreline. Then I'm going to go to Ballard. Awesome. I still have an office in the middle of North Seattle with 13 million competitors, a lot more opportunity, but I have taken my first year of accurate SEO or quality search engine optimization strategies. I now have 10 phrases in Woodinville, 10 phrases in Bothell, 10 phrases in Mount Lake Terrace, 10 phrases in Edmond, 10 phrases in Ballard that are all producing revenue for all 4 seasons. So for your summer and spring and fall and winter, plus the 10 phrases for each location, I have revenue coming in. Now I'm going to take the revenue that's coming in and I'm going to take 10% of my gross annual revenue and I'm going to drop it into search engine optimization on a high competition phrase, right smack in the middle of my neighborhood. It may take me 12 months to get there, and that's okay because I still have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 key phrases that are producing results for me. So I'm just giving you a kind of strategy. Now, here's another strategy. Let's say that I'm in North Seattle and across this bridge, when I go over 520 and I move into Bellevue and Kirkland, there's 223,000 competitive pages in here. The population is decent. Number of monthly searches is decent. However, in Kirkland and Bellevue, your median household income moves from, in Ballard, your median household income, no, actually, let's go through Bothell and Woodinville, your median household income may be 100,000, 110,000. When you get into Kirkland and Bellevue, median may be 290. Edmonds, 290. So the business model may be different. It may not be about quality or quantity. It may be quality. So does it make sense to go after a smaller neighborhood or city or town because their average household income is much higher? So you get much fewer leads, but that first deal, and we had a client that did this in South Lake, Texas. First deal we went after was South Lake. And it was the furthest from actually where he was located. The first lead he got in was a $93,000 installation. Great business. So obviously we revised his entire strategy and said, all right, we're going to just totally take over South Lake. So, all right. So website ranking factors. I hope this helps. I want this to help. I want this to start making sense, and I want you guys to be in a good position with your vendors to ask questions. Okay. There are hundreds and hundreds of factors when it comes to how well your website can rank. Hundreds of factors. First one is the quality of your website, the coding. If your website, it's like buying high performance tires and this new wicked steering wheel and this really killer muffler for a car that has no engine. even having this cherry, paint job, it's not going to make it dry faster. So if your website is all broken junk, the coding is bad, it's not responsive, it has broken links, it's not been optimized, the on-page optimization is not done, it doesn't have title tags and metadata, or the metadata is outdated and it's still talking about keywords, and Google doesn't evaluate websites like that anymore. This is not going to work until this is fixed. This is a predecessor. So when you are talking to a salesperson, here's the trouble. Most salespeople have a set of products and services that they know how to sell, and that's what they do. They sell products and services. I call it hawking their wares and tears. Okay, a strategist is going to set the record straight. A strategist is when you call in, and I have clients that do it all the time. They'll send a message to one of our consultants or strategists, and they'll say, "Hey, should I be doing blank?" And the strategist will go look at, all right, how's your website doing? How's your conversions doing? How many territories do you own your page one rankings for all your key phrases? And the strategist will go back and they'll say, not never, but definitely not now. And they'll say, no, do not invest in that. And they're like, well, why shouldn't I be on Twitter? Technically, you should be on Twitter, but you're not there yet. You have other things that need to happen first. So this really is about doing the right things in the right order at the right time. And you got to have a strategist that understands business, how to grow a business, a growth hacker more than an advertising salesperson. I'll say that. Okay, how long have you been online? This matters. Google treats websites just like humans treat babies. If you're just out of the womb and have a brand new URL you're just putting on Google, or it hasn't been taken care of, it's going to take a while for Google to trust that site. If you have a website and a domain name that's been treated properly, it's had a good website up on it, it's been building backlinks, and it's been online for the last 29 years, you can't buy that. I mean, that's awesome. Google is going to love that. You're going to be looked at as credible. So you will be able to get results faster than somebody that's brand new. Quality of content, volume of content, frequency of content. Content is your voice. So you guys, the next training session is all about SEO content, how to write it, what to write, when to write, and so forth, and how it supports your overall rankings. Don't miss that training. That's the next one. But all of those things matter. If you think about it in your business, if you stop talking, what happens? You stop selling. Well, in a digital marketing environment, the only way Google knows that you're current and that you're relative and you know what you're talking about is you got to be talking. But it can't hear your phone conversations. All it can see is, are you preparing quality content, posting it on your site on a regular basis? If you're not and your competitor is, guess who wins? So you have to think about that. That's content. I know that it feels like the largest pain in your tail. But remember, it's your voice. And what happens offline will happen online. If you stop talking online, just like if you stop talking offline, your business will start to fail in that area. So you got to keep talking. The only way to talk is to know what you're talking about, identify what other people need to hear, what are their questions they're asking, what are they searching for, what solutions are you providing, and get off the phone, digitize it, put it into a blog post, get it on your website, optimize it so other people can find it while you go do something else. I love the fact when I'm standing on stage, I'll usually ask the audience, what is the number one reason why you're not blogging? How come you're not blogging? Why are you not digitizing your conversations? And notoriously, the entire room has one answer. I don't have enough. What do you guys think? Time. I don't have enough time. So if you think about it, we wake up every morning, we start getting on phone conversations, we start having conversations with our techs, we're training, we're taking customer service calls. People are asking us questions. They ask us a question, whether it's our own staff or whether it's a current customer or a new prospect, and we answer it. And then somebody else asks the same question and we answer it. And somebody else asks the same question and we answer it. And we keep doing that like Groundhog's Day. And then we have the nerve to say to ourselves, I don't have enough time to take the answer to that question asked so frequently and put it in a permanent format that other people can find so I can go do something else. I just have a mental problem with that. So you guys, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just saying that I want to help you guys be able to, stop Groundhog's Day. If there are hundreds of clients that you've answered the same questions with, I promise you there's 500 more that are asking the same question, just not to you. So if you were to just post it as new content on your site, answer that question digitally, it's going to work for you forever. I want you to think about if you've ever woke up in the morning and said, oh my gosh, I just wish I could duplicate myself. I wish there were more of me. I own the business. I'm running the business. I'm handling the trucks. I'm handling the techs. I'm taking care of hiring and firing. I'm taking care of training. I'm making sure that I'm educated with all my manufacturers and dealers. And you start rattling off this list. The greatest part is you probably have the most valuable knowledge out of anyone in your business. All we have to do is duplicate you. And in today's environment with technology, we can through content, video, podcast, webinar, audio, text. We can duplicate you. So violations, trust rank. I get so excited. Okay. Measure, report, analyze, modify. You have to have reports. If you're not reading reports, you got to have reports. You should be having some kind of a strategy session with your vendors, whoever's doing this, at least on a quarterly basis. Actually, quarterly is probably good enough. That gives you 3 months of data. You guys, are seasons are around 3 months unless you're in Texas. So keyword strategies. First thing is we've got to identify your phrases by location, by competition, and by population. We've got to do a lot of research. When you're going after a low competition key phrase, which also has a low number of searches, low population, you guys can get ranked in 3 months. Page 1, position 1, start making some money. Medium competition, 6 months. High competition, 9 plus. There's obviously a big difference between 1 million, you want to be number 1 of 1 million versus you want to be number 1 of 700 million. So this word high is a really big bucket. You have to. That requires more research. Okay, so things you guys got to consider. Location. Where do you want to get found? Where do you want to do business? Are you guys looking for, do you want to own your entire neighborhood, which is a 5, 10, 15, 20-minute drive from your location or from your office in a circle? Are you going after another area where there's a lot of new development? Are you going after another area where there's a retirement community? We know what are the locations we want to go after? Are they cities? Are they towns? Are they suburbs? Are they developments? What are they called? If there's a retirement community and you really want this, there's a lot of passive income there. And it's called the Sunrise community, then we need to go after the Sunrise community. So you have to have content in that drawer in order to be found by Google. I should say in order to be indexed by Google, let alone getting you from the back of Google to the front of Google. That's a different story. I should say that's a different training because it's coming up too. All right. You got to have time for ROI. What kind of position are you in? So if you're in a position where you have, a proper budget set, you've got 10% of your gross revenue put aside for your marketing budget, and you have time to go after the high competition phrases that have a lot more searches and a larger opportunity, that's awesome. Absolutely doable. However, if you've never properly budgeted for marketing, then you may not have time for ROI. So you may not have time to wait 9 months to go after a high competition phrase. So you need to focus on low competition phrases and build up from there, possibly add some pay-per-click. The other things you need to think about are the seasons. Your guys' seasons are changing every year. So you've got to make sure that your strategy is in alignment with your seasons. If you look back, if it takes 3 months to get you ranked for a low competition phrase, then in beginning of fall, you should be working on winter. Beginning of summer, you should be working on fall tune-ups. Beginning of spring, you should be working on AC repair, installation, maintenance, and so forth. However, if you're going after a high key phrase, then technically in the fall, you need to be working on next year's summer, depending on how many competitors you have. So Keyword research and selection strategies will go through fall. So you guys, these are the basics. There are much more complex key phrase strategies that are part of what you would go through, but from what I've seen, everybody needs to focus on the basics right out of the gate. So in the fall season, you have your variations and you have your primaries. So your primaries are depending on the person, the location. It may be referred to as furnace, heater, heating, water heater, oil to gas, boiler, or ductless. The variations: tune-up, maintenance, service, installation, replacement, repair, efficiency, discount, cost, estimate. I can keep going. So I'm just giving you a few. Winter. So it's going to stay the same on your primaries: furnace, heater, heating, water heater, oil to gas, boiler, ductless. But your variations are going to change: repair, service, installation, replacement, maintenance, efficiency, discounts, cost estimates, and so forth. If you are not interested in the repair and service business, you are strictly interested in installation, replacement, change outs, and so forth, that's a different strategy. If you are primarily focused on repair and service in order to get in the door, to be able to identify the problem and hopefully have an opportunity to do a replacement or an installation, awesome. But your business model, you've got to be communicating that with whoever you're working with and make sure they understand. Technically, they should be asking you these questions. All right, spring. Same thing, primaries: air conditioning, AC, air conditioner, ductless air conditioning, ductless AC, ductless air conditioner. So they're all different. Depending on where you're located, the number of searches per month for the word air conditioner versus air conditioning versus AC are significantly different. So one blooper on a website can make a big difference in your overall results. Same thing for your variations: maintenance, service, installation. So air conditioning, maintenance, service, installation, replacement, repair, and so forth. Summer, cooling season, just about the same. All right, your phrase variations. So all we were looking at was your primary phrase, your variation, but we weren't including geo, which is geography. So I've given you some different variations. When I'm looking at, if I focus on air conditioning in the Seattle area, and I primarily focus on getting the repair business in order to be able to get change out and installations and so forth, here are some variations or versions that I may go after. Seattle AC repair, air conditioning repairman in Seattle, air conditioning repair in Seattle, Seattle AC repairman, Seattle air conditioner repair company, Seattle AC service and repair, AC repair in Seattle. Now, this is just a small version here. We have the ability to go in and check and identify what people are actually looking for, and people are random. Everybody's search is a little bit different. There are some standards, but the thing is, if you don't have a page or a post in your website that has a permalink, page title, and the phrase Seattle AC repair used at least 3 to 5 times in a very well written article, then you're not going to compete for this. If there's nothing for Google to file, meaning there's no internal page for Google to file that specifically has a label that tells Google, hey, put this in the drawer called Seattle AC repair, then you can't get found for something that you don't have any content for. So that's going to be first and foremost. Once you get done with this, now change the location from Seattle to Bellevue and rinse, wash, and repeat. So additional kind of phrases. You guys have additional services: indoor air quality, humidifiers, dehumidifiers, duct cleaning, duct resizing, sizing, attic insulation. I know that just made some of you cringe. UV lights, radiant floors, plumbing, and so forth. You also have issues you've got to think about. Customers have problems. Sometimes we're so focused on what we sell that we don't pay attention to what their issue is. They don't necessarily want a humidifier. They don't know what they want. What they want is they want to reduce allergies because they've got 2 little kiddos that have horrible allergies. And they also have 2 pets that they could never get rid of. Now what are you going to do? They are sitting in an area that's got a lot of condensation, and they're starting to get mold. They're in an older development, older community. Mold is an issue in their area. What can they do? And it's a problem in all the houses around their neighborhood. You've got a group of houses that were built, X number, they've had air conditioners in there for 20 years. And the turnover in those areas, if you look at the real estate maps, people are not living in those houses for more than 3, 4, or 5 years. So what's happening is the houses are turning over and over again, and they're not replacing their units. So you've got a whole neighborhood of people that have really high energy bills, and they want to reduce their energy bills. So we've got to think more about, we do these consumer focus groups, and they're constantly saying, I just don't feel like I'm being heard. I don't feel like they understand. All they're trying to do is hawk their wares and tears. I can use that. So they want to be heard. They don't know if they need replacement or installation or service or repair. Google, that's only for Google. What they do know is their rooms are too hot or too cold. Their thermostats aren't working. Their air conditioner is so loud they can't even hear their television. There's all of these different things. So you've got to make sure from an SEO standpoint as well as from a design standpoint that you care about the consumer. You're not selling to a technician. You're selling to a woman most of the time. And you guys can tell me different, but most of the time there's going to be a female that is on the line making these decisions and identifying who to call. And she cares about her babies. She cares about her comfort. She cares about her pets. She cares about her family's budget. She cares about, more than anything, do you care about her? Once she knows how much you care, then she'll care how much you know. So, okay, variations by room. You have other issues. You got garage heating, garage cooling. You have server room cooling. You have basement heating. You have 2-story, 3-story, large house, small house, old house, whatever. There's a whole bunch of other things that people are looking for. You also have by brand. We've got to make sure they understand. You guys can service any makes and models, and there's specific things that you guys are certified in or that you recommend. Variations. When it comes to content writing, I want you to think about every customer or prospect that you've ever talked to. And if they ever start off a statement with how much, well, when do you, well, what is, well, which is, well, how do I, well, when do I, and so forth. These are your blog posts. We need to turn on your reticular activator, which is this thing inside your brain that brings your subconscious to your conscious. And we need to turn it on to where every time a customer says, well, how much is blank? When do you blank? What is blank? Which is blank? How do I? When do I? That you go, boom, digitize it. That's my next blog post. That's what I want to optimize. I've heard that question 3 times. It's an absolute oxymoron to keep answering it over the phone and to keep saying, I don't have enough time to actually take it, digitize it, and put it on my website so that other people can find the answer while I go do something else. And you know what? It could be a vacation. You need it. So also things that people are looking for, discounts, rebates, financing, tax credits, incentives, high efficiency, and so forth. We have one site that's going to have an interactive game where it has their specials on one page, and it has little images, and they flip over the image and they either get a discount or they get an apple or they get a rebate and so forth, but more like a memory game. If you pick 3 and they're the same, or if you pick 2 and they're the same, then boom, you get a new discount. So cool stuff. You guys get creative. People are fun. Make it fun for them. So design, your SEO completely depends on your navigation. All the time I see navigation on a website and it says home, about us, our services, FAQ, contact us. No. If you create a page called Our Services and you tell Google, hey, do me a favor. So I have this page called Our Services and there's like 90 services on there. I want you to go file it so somebody else can find it when they need it. A Google or a real person is going to look at you cross-eyed and go, huh? They don't know. They don't know what to do with that page. We have to make sure we give them 1 page per search. Yes, your menu would get way, way, way too long, which is why you have this great functionality on your website called a blog, and a blog is going to allow us to add unlimited content for years and years and years. Everything you've ever had to answer more than twice. We're going to put it in a blog. Your reviews, your questions, your FAQs, everything can go in a blog. All right, content marketing. We've talked about this. There's tons of ways to create content. Pages, blogging, articles, news, images, video. We can come back to that. The more content you publish, the higher your author rank will become as that content is shared in social media sites and so forth. The higher your author rank, the more trust gives you as an author, the more trust Google will give your website as well. So how do you build author rank? You got to connect to other high power authors. You need to have comments and tweets and post frequency. How frequently do you post? New content? What's your site's page rank? How many people are you connected to? Google Plus, likes, shares, and so forth. YouTube, LinkedIn, SlideShare, Facebook. We can keep going. So, are you going to do all this all right now? No, because your first step is probably, oh my gosh, I either have time or money. I either need to pay somebody to write my first article, or I need to write it myself, and that's where we start. So, what's next? On-page optimization. So for these trainings, right now we're talking about key phrase selection and just kind of the difference between SEO and pay-per-click. Next, we're going to be talking about content creation. That's the next session. Then we're going to be talking about on-page optimization, which is this: titles, tags, phrases, descriptions, interior links, tags and categories. I have tags on there twice. And then the next thing we're going to be talking about is off-page optimization, which is the process of getting your web page that you have perfectly set for Google to put in the right drawer, move from the back of the Google drawer to the front of the Google drawer. So you've got quite a few different sessions we're going through. Speaking of which, off-page off-page SEO, backlinking, article, there's a whole bunch of stuff we're going to be covering in the backlinking section. Now, reporting. I need to make sure that during our strategy session, so everyone who's attending this call, you guys, please stop what you're doing the second you get off this webinar. Go sign up for a free strategy session. We need to dive into what kind of reporting are you getting? Where are you currently ranked? What are you currently investing in? What's working? What's not? How much offline advertising are you doing? Online advertising are you doing? How well is your website built? We need to look at what reports are you currently utilizing. This is important. If you can't track it, you can't measure it, what's the point? We got to get to the point where we are wisely investing marketing dollars and carefully and strategically building a strong infrastructure behind your marketing. It's not overnight. It's not, hey, buy a list of set of zip codes, throw it out there and, get on my knees and pray that my phone's going to ring. We need a tactical, strategic approach to building you a long-term marketing program that has compounding interest impacts on your business. And your reporting is what's going to do that. Do you have a website error reporting? Your website's constantly going to break. Your website's always going to have issues. It's always going to be breaking. You just have to have a team that fixes it quickly. And you got to have these error reports. You got to have analytics, Google Analytics, article submissions, backlink tracking, page rank tracking. What are you looking at that's showing you that this stuff is getting done? This is what one of our clients' reports looks like. And this is what you want to see. So everything in the red is essentially they're not in the top 50 pages on Google. Everything in the green is they're on page 1, position 1 through 3 on Google. This is page 1, position 4 through 10. This is page 2. This is not in the top 5 pages. So before we went live with our website, this is where we were. This is 0 rankings in May of 2015. And this is by August 11th. They're on page 1 of Google, position 1 through 3 for 100% of the key phrases in their plan. That's what you want to see. This is a distributor. So you'll notice, same thing. Now, this is showing you want to do more of what works. So having 6 key phrases, if my phone starts ringing and I start making money, add 6 more. And then add 6 more and add 6 more and keep doing that until you build a base that's so great. So same thing, this is what you want to look at. This is tracked key phrases. So page 1, position 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is how this will work, is you want to keep bumping these up. So now that there's 4 phrases in the top, now it's time to get the other ones back up. So your first goal is you got to get into the top 50 pages. 50 results, 5 pages. Second one, get to page 1, get in the top 10. Your next goal, get to position number 1 in your top 10, which is page 1, position 1. And your next goal is start acquiring more listings. So we have a lot of clients where they own page 1, position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and their competitor is not on the top page of Google anymore. So you can get pretty aggressive with this. It's fun, but it also, this is what builds your business. Same thing, this is what you should see. So this is a new website. They had 9 phrases, moved to the top 5 pages, social media, local listings, and so forth. In 1.2 months online, you'll see their traffic. The number of unique visitors to their website increased by 439%. Page views increased by 100%. Sessions increased by 286%. That's what you want to see. Usually it's as simple as replacing your site and getting into a good SEO program. So essentially, page 1, position 1, that equals traffic. More traffic, more conversions, more sales. Focus on retention and upsell of referrals. This is the simplest marketing plan there is. Get to page 1, position 1 through 3. That'll create more traffic. Make sure your website is gorgeous and that it's designed perfectly for conversions. They can schedule appointments online. They can request estimates online. They can schedule service online and so forth. Perfect for conversions. Convert.
It's 11 o'clock.
Increase sales. Focus on retention, upsells, and referrals. All right, with that, I'm going to slide past this. You guys, every one of you, like I said, will get a free listing on our CI HVAC dealer directory simply for doing one thing. That is, go to ciwebgroup.com, sign up for a free strategy session with myself. You will get a free website analysis and report, free local listing report, free SEO report, free listing on HVAC.com, CIHVAC.com for life. It is that simple. Just go here, www.ciwebgroup.com. In the lower right-hand corner, it will say schedule now, contact us. You can click on any of those. And take time. I know I covered a lot of information. And let's see what applies to you depending on where you are and have just a very powerful strategy session that can help you guys take your business to the next level. With that, everyone, with Don Stevens, thank you so much. I believe we have one last announcement. I am really excited about coming out to your neck of the woods. This is on Tuesday, November 10th. 9 a.m. to 12 o'clock, we are going to be doing a workshop live there, digital marketing strategies for HVAC contractors. We will be focusing on how to increase sales, how to increase referrals, how to improve operational efficiencies, how to reduce advertising expenses, and focus on high leverage activities that produce the greatest results. You guys, we're going to be there. You can register online. If you have not registered yet, definitely do that. You can register at ciwebgroup.com/Don Stevens. We're going to have a killer program there. I'll have some of my team members with me as well, and we'll have an opportunity to meet in person. I'm really excited about coming out there, and I have my warm boots and hats and coats all ready because I hear it's freezing. So, you guys, thanks so much. I hope to see you at the next event. Tom, thank you for the introduction. And everyone, you guys can also watch this recording if you want to share it with your boss, share it with your friends on the same link at ciwebgroup.com/Don Stevens. Register. Number 1, register for the event. Number 2, register for your strategy session. Number 3, go check out the prior training videos that you might have missed. And number 4, register for the next one. Love you all, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Jennifer, and I would say thank you for attending to all of those online, and look forward to our next session.